So our next important reaction, obviously it's a name reaction, is nothing but Remer-Timmer reaction. So let's discuss all this Remer-Timmer reaction with all these mechanisms and the role of all the reagents in detail. Okay, so first of all, let's have a look over the reagents which are given in the reaction. See, there is a chloroform and any one base is present as a reactant in this reaction. So very first of all, there is a reaction in between the chloroform and base. Let's see how it works. So I should say it's the step number 1, where chloroform, which is nothing but CH, Cl, Cl and Cl. Okay, it reacts with one of the base. We have 3 molecules of base, right? It's a KOH. We have 3 molecules of KOH. Now we have to use any one molecule out of 3. So it's nothing but KOH. So let's write the charge difference between them on the basis of their electronegativity. So we know that chlorine is more electronegative, so there should be a delta negative charge in this. Chlorine also delta negative, here also delta negative, right? If we divide this KOH molecule, it should be an OH minus and K plus. Now next point is OH minus will obviously will attack on hydrogen, okay, and these shared pair of electron will move towards the carbon atom. So our first product should be, it is nothing but Cl, then carbon, again another Cl, another Cl. Okay, 3 Cl molecules with negative charge. Okay, let me clarify this one. One bond means 2 electrons. Okay, when we say there is a bond between carbon and hydrogen, it means that one bond made up of 2 electrons. Out of 2 electrons, 1 electron is of carbon atom and the second electron belongs to the hydrogen atom. Okay, sharing of these 2 electrons form a one bond. Okay, so one bond means 2 electrons. So with this bond, let's continue further. So OH minus attacks on hydrogen. Both the 2 electrons gets accepted by carbon atom. Why? Because carbon is more electronegative than hydrogen. So carbon should have 2 electrons. We can say that negative charge or 2 electrons. Okay, so let me write this as 2 electrons. Carbon has 2 electrons. Out of this, 1 electron belongs to carbon itself and the another electron is withdrawn from the hydrogen atom. Okay, so generally we say a negative charge on this carbon. So let me write negative charge also. It's only for simplicity. Don't write negative charge and lone pair at a time. Okay, it's not logical. It's only for the sake of convenience. Next point is, see, out of chlorine and carbon, chlorine is more electronegative, carbon is less electronegative, and negative charge belonging to the lower electronegative species, it's not a logical one. Okay, so this intermediate is not a stable intermediate, and this intermediate undergoes further reaction. That is, out of 3 chlorine atoms, 1 chlorine atom gets detached with all the shared pair of electrons. It withdraws all the shared pair of electrons and gets detached. So now the molecule becomes Cl minus, gets detached. Okay, I am writing minus means it has accepted both the electrons. Okay, so the remaining part is carbon, then chlorine, and now look at this. Here we have 2 electrons. Okay, now out of these 2 electrons, both the electrons are accepted by chlorine, so there is no any electron, and this compound, this intermediate, is highly unstable. If we study about this carbon atom, it has only 2 plus 2, 4, 5, 6 electrons in outermost shell. Okay, so it's electron deficient species. We call it as a carbene. So in the first step, the product form is carbene. Okay, this is our first product. Next point is, when this carbene reacts with benzene ring. So we know that benzene ring is electron rich species because it has lots of double bonds. Okay, so here is OH, so double bond and double bond. When this carbene comes in contact with the benzene ring, see, like this, Cl, and it has 2 electrons. Okay, it has 2 electrons. It's electron deficient species, so this bond gets this benzene ring attacks on the carbon atom. Why benzene ring? Because it's electron rich, And why on carbon? Because it's electron deficient. So electron species obviously should attack on electron deficient species. So the further reaction should be like this. It forms a benzene ring. Okay, here is the OH group, then here is the carbon atom. Let me write this with another ink so that it can be easily differentiated. Okay, Cl, Cl. Now with 2 electrons. Okay, now with 2 electrons. Why I am writing 2 electrons again? The bond formed between benzene and carbon, the electron required for this bond is supplied by benzene ring only. Okay, so here these are the 2 electrons. Now next point is, see, in this case benzene is aromatic because it has 3 pi electrons, 3 pi bonds. Okay, but in this case it's not a aromatic compound, so it has to gain or regain its aromaticity. How can it be happen? So here is one hydrogen atom. We know that at each carbon there is a hydrogen atom attached. Okay, so out of this one, this hydrogen gets detached and both the electrons get shifted as a double bond. Okay, so the next product formed is like this: benzene ring with OH group. Okay, then double bond, here double bond, then double bond. After that carbon, chlorine. Now we have here 2 electrons. Okay, we have 2 electrons and hydrogen gets detached from it. So this detached hydrogen attracts towards the carbon atom, because now carbon, see, let's count the number of electrons that carbon have. 2 electrons plus 2 electrons, 4, 5, 6 electrons plus 2, 8 electrons. Now this carbon is stable one. So in this case 2 electrons means it's electron rich, so it can attack on hydrogen also. Which hydrogen? The same hydrogen which gets detached. So this hydrogen attracted here. Okay, so this is another intermediate molecule we got. Okay, it's the product of our second step. It's the product of our second step reaction. So next continue our third step. Just 1 minute. Up to this step we have only used 2 base molecules. Okay, we have 2 more base molecules. So next point is step number 3, where our same product, here it is OH, carbon, chlorine, hydrogen, it's a benzene, plus 2 base molecules, KOH. We know that KOH, when it dissociates like K plus and OH minus. Now next point is OH minus attacks on this carbon atom. Okay, and halogens are good leaving group, so the halogen gets detached from it. So our final product should be like this. See, both the OH groups attacks on carbon atom and both the Cl gets replaced. So next product we get is OH, C, here is the carbon atom, then hydrogen, then here one OH, and here is the second OH group. Okay, the next and last point is 2 hydroxyl group at 1 carbon, it's unstable species. Okay, so what we have done here, it's an unstable species and it always results in the elimination of water molecule. How? So see, this OH and this hydrogen gets eliminated. Okay, so what the final product now is benzene with OH, here is double bond, then carbon atom with hydrogen. Okay, now this OH and hydrogen is detached as a water molecule. So what remains? It remains only a double bonded oxygen. This oxygen forms a double bond. Okay, because this oxygen, the oxygen hydrogen bonds get detached. Okay, for this carbon oxygen bonds get detached, so they form some mutual bond between them. Okay, so this is our final product about Rimmer-Timmer reaction.